Imagine you're at a global summit. The leaders of the world's most powerful nations are all there, debating the future. They're discussing the economy, the climate, the endless conflicts. It all feels incredibly important, like the fate of humanity is being decided in that room. But what if it's not? What if, above them all, there's another room? A room not on Earth. And in that room, a different kind of council is meeting. A council that isn't human. And they're the ones who are really in charge. They're discussing the same topics: our economy, our climate, our conflicts. But they're looking at it like a science experiment. An experiment that might be about to end. According to a chilling narrative that has seeped out from the shadowy world of secret space programs and military whistleblowers. This isn't just a thought experiment. It's a reality. This story claims that humanity is not the master of its own destiny. Instead, our world is allegedly managed, observed, and ultimately controlled by a secret cabal of 5 distinct alien species. They are known as the Council of Five. And according to these insiders, they have been watching us for millennia, guiding our evolution from the shadows and treating our entire planet as a long-term project. And now, they may have finally made a decision about our future. This isn't about a single UFO sighting or a strange light in the sky. This is the framework that supposedly explains everything else. The concept is known as exopolitics, the politics between extraterrestrial civilizations. The idea is that the universe is teeming with life, organized into vast interstellar alliances and federations, much like countries on Earth. And within this cosmic political landscape, Earth is a special case, a planet under quarantine, a protected but also imprisoned world. The wardens, the zookeepers, the board of directors for Project Earth are the Council of Five. So who are these alleged cosmic overlords? The accounts describe a council that is anything but unified. It's a fragile alliance of powerful species, each with its own agenda for humanity. First, you have the beings we all know, the quintessential aliens of modern folklore, the Greys. Small, frail bodies, large heads, and massive black almond-shaped eyes that seem to hold the emptiness of space itself. On the council, they are said to be the scientists, the geneticists, the cold logicians. They are reportedly fascinated by our biology, our emotions, our DNA. They see us as a chaotic but promising genetic soup. The stories of abductions, of medical procedures, of hybrid programs, if you believe the lore, these are the work of the Greys, carrying out their research under the Council's authority. They don't care about our philosophies or our wars. They care about our data. Sitting alongside them, in stark contrast, are the Nordics. They are described as strikingly human-like, but perfected. Tall, beautiful beings with pale skin, blonde hair, and piercing blue eyes. They could walk among us, and we might only see them as exceptionally beautiful people. Their role, according to the whistleblowers, is that of the observers, the diplomats, the concerned guardians. They are said to be an ancient race, far more spiritually and ethically advanced than our own. They are reportedly worried about our self-destructive tendencies, our wars, our pollution. They advocate for our development, hoping we will one day mature enough to join the galactic community. But their policy is one of strict non-interference, a rule they are supposedly reluctant to break, no matter how close we get to the edge. Then, there is the Council's muscle, the species that brings a sense of primal fear, the Reptilians. Described as tall, bipedal humanoids with scaly skin, reptilian eyes, and formidable strength. They are the strategists, the warriors, the pragmatists of the Council. Their interest in humanity, is said to be far less benevolent. They see Earth not as a cradle of life to be nurtured, but as a resource to be managed, a strategic asset in the galaxy. The lore surrounding them is dark, filled with tales of manipulation, of secret control over human institutions, of a desire to exploit humanity for their own ends. They are the ones who argue that humanity is too dangerous to be allowed to develop freely, that we need to be controlled and contained. The fourth member is perhaps the most alien of all, the insectoids. Often described as resembling giant praying mantises, these beings are said to be profoundly intelligent, but in a way we can barely comprehend. They are the engineers, the hive mind thinkers. They don't think as individuals, but as a collective consciousness. Their perspective is long, spanning eons. They see human society not as a collection of individuals, but as a complex system, a social machine. Their interest is in the structure itself, in the flow of information, in the patterns of our collective behavior. They are utterly inscrutable, their motives as alien as their form. And finally, the fifth member. This is where the accounts often become more ethereal, more mysterious. Some describe them as beings of pure energy, formless and ancient. Others describe them as an aquatic species from a distant water world, wise and enigmatic. But the most compelling descriptions point to a race that acts as the Council's arbiter. An ancient, almost angelic species that has overseen countless civilizations rise and fall across the galaxy. They are the judges. They hold the deciding vote. They are the ones who convened the Council millennia ago to decide what to do about the promising but violent apes on the third planet from a yellow star. So what is their purpose? According to the narrative, the Council of Five presides over the Earth experiment. They regulate which other alien species can visit and interact with us. They allegedly seeded the planet with life and have subtly guided our evolution through critical junctures in history. The sudden leap forward in human intelligence, the myths of gods descending from the heavens, the strange, out-of-place artifacts, all of this is supposedly the Council's handiwork. They are waiting for us to reach a certain level of maturity, a graduation point. But here's the problem. The Council is not in agreement about us. The Nordics and their allies argue that we are on the cusp of a spiritual awakening and should be helped. The Reptilians and their faction argue that we are a failed experiment, a threat to ourselves and others, and that direct intervention and control are now necessary. The Greys just want to continue their research, and the insectoids are simply observing the patterns. The Council is deadlocked, and that brings us to today. Look at the world around you. The unprecedented speed of technological change, the deep, bitter divisions in our societies, the planet groaning under the weight of our actions, the constant threat of self-annihilation. According to the insiders who tell this story, these are not just human problems. They are data points. They are the final results of a very long experiment, and the Council is reviewing the data. The title of this story is a chilling one. The Council of Five has made its decision. What could that decision be? Have they decided to finally end the quarantine and make open contact, revealing themselves to the world? This would be the benevolent outcome pushed by the Nordic faction. A new era of enlightenment, technology, and cosmic awareness for humanity. Or has the Reptilian faction won the debate? Have they decided that we are too chaotic, too dangerous, and that the experiment must now move from observation to direct control? This would mean a gradual, or perhaps sudden, takeover of our world, not with invading armies, but from within, a final consolidation of power that we would be helpless to stop. There is a third, even more terrifying possibility. What if they've decided the experiment is simply over? A failure? What if they've decided to wash their hands of us, to cut their losses and simply walk away? They would remove their protection, lift the quarantine, and leave us not only to our own devices, but to any other cosmic force that might be waiting just outside our solar system, forces that are far less patient than the Council. We are left with a story that reframes all of human history, a story of secret masters and a planet-sized laboratory. Is it real? There is no hard proof, only the strange, consistent testimonies of people who claim to have been on the inside. But if you allow yourself to entertain the idea for just a moment, it raises the ultimate question. Are we alone and in control of our own fate? Or are we just a project, waiting for a final grade from a council of beings we can't even imagine, who have just finished their deliberations and are about to turn the page?